I'm very pleased to be here today to speak to my colleagues about funding for the Department of Homeland Security and to be followed by one of my most valued colleagues, Senator Menendez, whose leadership on this issue has been extraordinarily important. I'm also pleased to work with him on a letter that he sent yesterday to the president concerning Iran sanctions, where his statesmanship-like path to a reasonable solution on this very complex and crucial issue will be enormously important to the future. The Department of Homeland Security is one of the most significant departments in the United States government. It has a mandate that is as complex and crucial as any in keeping American citizens and communities and capabilities safe and secure in a dangerous, complex, and threatening world. In my family growing up, we had a saying, "Don't cut off your nose to spite your face." And unfortunately, that path is exactly what some of my colleagues are choosing to follow in threatening to stop funding for the Department of Homeland Security. We're reminded of the importance of this department, not only as terrorism raises its ugly head repeatedly abroad, but also as perhaps more benign threats exist at home. The most recent of them, the snowstorm that hit the Northeast just within the past couple of days, because the Department of Homeland Security is not only engaged in the fight against terrorism, not only in keeping America safe from threats abroad, but a wide variety of other tasks that have to do with the nation's security. That's the key word in its title, security. Americans feel more deeply than ever before that their security is threatened. Economic security by stagnating incomes, foreign security as the world becomes more volatile and unpredictable and more threatening, and domestic security as threats abroad metastasize within our own borders. Many people equate the concept of security at home or homeland security with protection against extreme violent sects from abroad, violent extremism spawned from abroad, and in fact stopping those threats, finding the wrongdoers and stopping them is one of the major tasks that the Department of Homeland Security has. But it has a myriad of additional responsibilities that include aiding the victims of natural disasters and extreme weather, citizenship and immigration, routinely handling matters that involve legitimate applications for visas or entry into the United States, and it fights the scourge of human trafficking. I'm privileged to head the caucus on human trafficking with my colleague Rob Portman. So I know that it performs a variety, a diverse collection of responsibilities that are crucial to security. In fact, the Department of Homeland Security's responsibilities are comprehensive, so much so that it is simply unacceptable to play politics with its crucial mission. It's irresponsible to hold its funding hostage in a dangerous game of fiscal chicken and threaten daily activities that are vital to America's present and future security. And that's why we're here. Because some of my friends across the aisle believe that stopping the president from exercising discretion on certain immigration issues affecting specific individuals in this country is worth hamstringing and undercutting the entire Department of Homeland Security and forcing an enormous amount of its vital work to grind to a halt. That's the game of chicken that we have here. The president is expected to relent if the Department of Homeland Security is stopped from functioning. But it's a game that has no place in this chamber or in this government. We can agree or disagree with the president, and I disagree with the Department of Homeland Security on certain of its policies, for example, on detaining children, which it has done routinely on a grandiose scale. I have included in the measure that passed the Senate for immigration reform an amendment that would stop it from detaining children, a practice that I consider shameful and unacceptable. And I have a long list of other changes that I'd like to see made in DHS policies. But the way to effectuate those changes, in my view, is not to withhold funding, to stop DHS in its tracks of providing security for the American people. It is to amend the laws, to persuade our colleagues to undertake the legislative process, and to appeal ultimately to the court of public opinion, which can render a verdict far more powerful than the tactics involved here. Chipping away at the president's authority by not only undercutting but stopping one of his departments is reprehensible. And so I urge my colleagues to cease this tactic. The president needs discretion. In fact, I know as a prosecutor, as a former attorney general, and as a one-time United States attorney for Connecticut, that discretion is essential, that there is no way that any authority can prosecute every crime. And so prosecutors need to select cases based on the severity of the offense and, most important, the danger to the public, because ultimately protecting the public is what security requires. And that's true as well of the Department of Homeland Security. The president has exercised his discretion in a way that I find laudable. The exigencies of the present immigration situation require the exercise of discretion. The president has done it in a way that is responsible and upholds his duties as commander-in-chief. But even if I disagreed with the president on that exercise of discretion with respect to immigration, I would never use this tactic of withholding funding for an entire department affecting all of its activities and implicating and undercutting security in so dangerous a way. So my hope is that we will debate immigration policy, that we will approve an immigration reform bill, that it will be on a bipartisan basis, just as it was during the last session, that there'll be a lot of good faith disagreement on the floor of this chamber about those policies and about the president's action, but that we will keep the lights on at the Department of Homeland Security, that we will shine the light on threats to our security that need to be exposed and pursued, that we will further the security of this nation and protect the public by making sure that the DHS funding as a clean bill is approved right away, and that we move forward to make sure that DHS continues its vital service to the American people.